Hello. Uh, right, we're going to go through a full body workout with an ab finisher at the very end of it. We're going to start with the warm up, do the workout, finish with the stretch. Do not miss the warm up or the stretch, they're just as important. So all you need with you is just your body weight, a little bit of space. If you've got something like a sofa or a chair or something like that, have that because we're going to use it for some rib elevated split squats, but I'll give you options if you need something else. That is it. So let's get warmed up. So we're just going to start by moving your feet in any old way. Just be a little side tap. And as you do, just warm up the wrist. So give it a few circles around the wrist. As big as circles as you can, as you're trying to find your kind of end range of movement. And if you prefer, you can do some figure of eights with the wrist. There's going to be quite a bit on the wrist, so you do really want to do this. And we're just going to do a little warm up the shoulders. Now that can be either by just like rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Do some forwards and some back. If you want to make the circles a little bit bigger, going a little bit bigger and trying to just kind of draw as big a circle as you can with the elbows. So you're just starting to warm and mobilize the shoulders, the upper body, nerves. The nerves. And then we swing the arms forward and back, so open and close the chest. And this is a dynamic warm up for the chest and the back. So you should be feeling a squeeze of your chest here, a squeeze of your back here, and it's also a stretch of your chest here and a stretch of your upper back here. So just swinging through the motions. And I start to move. So we're coming to some body weight squats, feet are wider than hips back and down, just start to ease into the legs. So making sure posture is good. You initiate the movement from the hips, pushing the hips back and then down, not just by bending the knees. And then even if you're capable of doing push-ups on the toes for the warm-up, do knees to floor. So hands right at the chest, shift your weight forward, brace your belly, and again, just ease into the range. They're probably not going to be full push-ups just yet. If you need a little bit less, just bring your knees in. The main thing is it should feel quite comfortable. It is just the start of the warm-up. And then jump up on your feet. We're going to do an alternating lunge with the twist. Step backwards, drop your knee towards the floor, and then twist in towards your thigh. Step in and switch legs. You're going to need to make sure your feet are hip width apart and not one behind the other, so you're really stable here before you add the twist of the back. And then star jumps. So we're going to jump the feet out and together, out and together. If you need low impact, either for your neighbours or for any kind of injury reason, then just step out and in, out and in. Or maybe it's just energy today. And you should just feel your heart rate starting to climb. All right, round two, we're going to do it all again. If you can, just moving a little bit more. So you can absolutely stick with the side tap or just marching on the spot. But if you can, we just want to get the heart rate going a little bit more. Try and make even bigger circles with the wrists. And hopefully you can hear like my heart rate's starting to get a little puffed out as well. And then work the shoulders. So try to go a little bit bigger if you can. So it's either here or bigger old circles with the arms. And again, doing some forwards, some backwards. How big a circle can you draw? Does it feel better than the first time? That's the goal. Open close chest. So swing the arms forward and back. Try and get a bigger squeeze of your chest. So like a bigger crossover of the arms and a bigger squeeze between your shoulder blades. Really prep yourself for your many push-ups you've got coming. Bodyweight squats. So this time we're trying to go just a little bit lower and trying to find your full range of a squat. So your full range is anywhere up to bum in line with knees. Be mindful of going lower as it normally means the butt tilts underneath and we lose posture. So just stopping like roughly so thighs parallel to floor. Knees down, push-ups again. Same thing again, take them a little bit slower. Go a little bit lower in the push-up. Making sure that hips aren't sagging, not worming down, but it almost, in fact, like you're trying to carry a tray on your back. That's perfect. And we're going to lunge with the twist again. This time go with a forward lunge. So lunge forward and we're still twisting in towards the leg. And then switch. Trying to get your back knee as close as you can to the floor. So really warming up the lower body. And star jumps. Now this is the last bit of the warm-up, so I want you to do this with a little bit more energy, a little bit more oomph, whether that's jumping or stepping. Be mindful of your knees if they're coming like this, or if your arms are going to go like this. Try and push your knees down, lengthen your arms. Okay, and release. Shake off. You've got 40 seconds to either have water. If there's anything extra you think you want to do to just warm yourself up and prep yourself up, then do. And then I'll just walk you through the format. So we're going to be doing 60 seconds of just 4 exercises. It's your basic exercise. We've got the push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, 3 exercises. Oh no, 4 rear elevated split squats as well. Then, we have a minute recovery. We do the same exercise again, but it's less time. And then we do it again, 1 more round through, less time again. So it goes a minute, 45 seconds, 30 seconds, before we finish the whole off with just pure abs. So the first one, 1 minute push-ups. So, you're going to start on the toes if you can. I always recommend starting on the toes, even if you're not sure that you can. Because the worst thing that happens is you can't. And you try it and you pop your knees down. But you might be able to do a push-up and get yourself up, and then gradually you'll get more and more on the toes. If you're a bit in betweeny, maybe try one on the knees and then come up on one on the toes. Or try lowering from the toes and popping the knees down to push back up. It is 1 minute, so don't go out the gate really fast. And if you need less, it's knees in, knees down or knees in. Just be mindful, we're trying to keep the weight forward. You'll find your hands will naturally come out in front of you. You want to try and keep your hands in line with your chest and the elbows below your shoulders. So you're going to, if you're lifting them up high, you're going to feel quite a bit of tension in the shoulders. Dropping them down low comes more into the chest. Yes, it is harder as well. Nearly there, you've got less than 10 seconds to go. That's perfect. So you're just going to roll over onto your back for sit-ups. So, lie on your back. Cross your hands onto the opposite shoulders, tuck your chin. And you're going to curl up through your spine, try and sit your elbows on top of your knees, and roll yourself back down again. So try to make it as smooth as you can. You go from the crunch and then that little bit extra further to sit all the way up and rolling down. If you get stuck, you can use your elbows a little bit here to swing yourself up, or you can use even more momentum by taking your arms behind to swing up, or just stick with a crunch and just come up to that point where you think, oh, I can't come up further than that. So come up to that sticking point where the lower back is down. But if you can, especially if you are good at these, really watch the elbows. We tend to, one of my clients says, yeet them up. So you just like push like this, but really trying to pin them in place and make it so your muscles in your stomach are using yourself to get up rather than the momentum of yeeting. So I don't know how to use it properly in a sentence. Right, coming to a rear foot elevated split squat. Pick a leg, any leg, because you can do the other leg the next round. So, what that means, you're going to elevate your rear foot. So it's going to be up, you've got sofa, chair, anything like that. Push your hips back, and then come on up. So push your hips back, and then stand up. So it's a real, hips back and a slight tip forward before you stand. If you haven't got something to elevate your foot on, just stick with a split lunge. So you're here, and just dropping your knee towards the floor and standing up. It's this exact same motion. It's just you'll find it's a bit more challenging with the back foot elevated. Check as you do this that you're still hip width apart, like this, and your knee is probably going to try and come in towards the middle. And if you look at the screen here, does this look that shudong? Not really. So you're going to push the knees out and then go from there. That's going to keep you more stable through the knee and through the hips, and get a little bit of glute or bum activation. Come down and coming up. Nice, and we're just switching legs. So you're going to switch the legs out and go to the other one. You probably picked your stronger leg first, so good luck. On here, dropping down and dropping up. Take your time, it's 1 minute, you're not going really fast. Take your time, find your range. You can go lower than you could on the floor here. So you can go right to the point where your bum is below the knee if you wanted and if you're capable. If not, it's just as low as you can manage. Check that you're not too close here. Your knees should never be in line with each other, but you do want to have one leg in front of the other. Similarly, you don't want to be almost in splits like this. So you're almost aiming for knee under hip. Once you've got that, if you've got your foot against the sofa, take a tiny step back, lift the leg up, you'll be in the right place. And gradually over time, you kind of get used to finding that position a little bit easier. Eyes. And then, his favourite exercise next. So we've got 1 minute burpees. 1 minute burpees. Pace yourself. Try and complete the minute without breaks. And again, I'm going to show you some options. You pick what's right for you. So you're going to squat down, put your hands flat on the floor, jump your feet back into a solid plank, back into a squat, jump up. So that's option 1. So it's down, plank, in, up. Down, plank, in, up. If you need less, you can step up any part of that. So it might be that you step back to plank and then jump in and stand up. Maybe you step back, jump up, or maybe you step the entire thing, stepping into a plank position, stepping into a squat, and standing up. If you're a beginner completing this workout, feel free to use an incline. So using your kind of chair or sofa, and then you can step back here and step in and stand. Anytime you can use an incline to make something easier, decline makes it harder. So you've got about 15 seconds left. See if you can get at least 2, maybe 3 more in. Got 1 minute break after. Yeah, well done. Have a little shake. Have a little shake. 1 round done. That's the longest round, and we got 2 more to go. So as I say, this time I'm going to be shaving off some 15 seconds. So it's going to be 45 seconds each exercise. Thing to watch for is as we get tired, that's where technique starts to slip a little bit. So you're going to really try and, what's the money? I really try and keep the technique over the number of reps. So if you get the quality of the reps down, even if it's fewer, then over time you're going to get stronger in a safer way than if you just smash out bad reps with bad form. So this one, watch out, your abs are going to be more tired. So watch out that you don't find yourself arching your back or sagging your hips or sagging your head in the push-ups. So if you want to get down on the floor, we're going in about 5 seconds. Set yourself up, spread the fingers. We're going to try the toes again. Might as well try. First one. Spread the fingers, shift the weight forward, brace the belly, so tuck the tailbone, and then drop your chest in between and push yourself up. So what are we trying to remember? Trying to remember to brace, not to have saggy hips. A lot of people do is have their butt below their shoulders, but actually you do want to have your butt kind of level with your shoulders and feel the difference when you lift up like that on your abs. You're over halfway. If you get stuck, again, just drop to the knees. Take your time. And if you've got stuck on the toes, then when you go to the knees, you should be able to get lower into the range. You've got another 5 seconds to go. Yeah, nice. Rolling over onto your back. How controlled can you do this one? Hands on top of the shoulders. Tuck the chin. Curl yourself up. And then roll yourself down. If you are feeling pressure in your back and not the abs, then again, stick to the crunch. Or try just setting yourself up in any old way. Take your hands in front of you and then go for the slow roll down. The second you feel it in your back, just let yourself go. And then if you keep practicing it like that, you'll find you'll be able to get up and down and hopefully start feeling it in your abs more. Again, if you are feeling back more than abs, then you might need to look at some of my back mobility workouts. And if we release them a bit more before the workout, you should find you're feeling in the correct muscles. How are you doing? Final 5 seconds. Yeah, nice, perfect. On your feet. Roof elevated split squat. Start on the same leg you started on last time. Down as slow as you can and driving up. So this time, if you've got the range and you're managing to get it, so you're pushing both knees out, you're really pushing both hips back. Try at the top of the movement, not fully straightening the leg. So keeping a slight bend in the knee. And then you're going to feel you're just trapping the tension in the front of the thigh and the quad, as well as in the bum, and not getting the release that you desire at the top. So give it a slight bend. I tend to find I use runner's arms, just helps with the balance. If you do anything we like the arms, that's not the important bit. Ooh, less on the legs, we don't want that. Oh, make the legs work. Woo, little shake. Switch over to the other leg. Take your position, square your hips. Relax the foot that's elevated behind you. Keep as much pressure as you can in the foot that's on the floor. So this is all about the front leg. All about the front leg. So slightly leaning forward into it. Pushing as much pressure as you can. The back leg, just there to stay out of the way. So you should feel maybe 5% of your weight on it. 5-10%, really not much at all. And while you're doing this, don't think about the burpees. Now you're thinking about the burpees. Slight bend at the top, as low as you can at the bottom. 3 seconds. Nice, perfect, well done. Shake off. Right, if you are jumping your burpee, make sure you catch your burpee in a squat. You're going to find you start trying to land here when you're fatiguing. So, down, hit a solid plank, trying to avoid any slacking. Jumping in, up, and if you're jumping, you land in a squat before you go again. Right, next thing to watch out for on your burpee. You've got it, you're stepping out, you're jumping, you've hit your plank, hit your squat. Watch out, are you landing in a squat? Are you landing in a plie with your feet together, or on the balls of your feet? So if you are, what the target is to get squat position. So feet wider than the hips. That way you'll be able to squat down, get back, and you're going to lift your hips up to get the feet flat underneath you. So you've got all this space for your legs to come back up from. So that's what you're aiming for. Squat, not sumo squat, not a plie. I took all through that. What a cheat. Have a little shake off. That was shorter effort, so got a shorter break. The final round is only 30 seconds long. So the final round, you are the most tired, but it is the less time. As long as you can get the technique still good, try and increase the intensity by increasing the pace. So you're going to pump out a few more reps, even if that means you need a few more breaks. Because by this point, by round 3, we really want to be at fatigue. So we want to be at the point where your muscles feel like, oof, they couldn't have done any more. They feel really tired. You wouldn't want to do an extra round. So again, if your form slips, you're at fatigue, keep it slower. If not, try pumping it out a little bit more. Are we ready? Try the toes again for the push-ups. Again, worst thing that happens is you immediately put your knees down. So 30 seconds of push-ups, starting to pump it out a little bit more while still trying to get the range, which I don't think I've actually mentioned yet. So your range is trying to get it so your elbows are in line with your body. You don't need to go past that. That goes into the shoulders. Keep it just in line with the body to hit the chest. If you're not quite hitting that, pop your knees down or knees in and start smashing the reps out on your knees. 5 more seconds. Perfect, rolling over for sit-ups. Without, I'm going to keep saying that, eating yourself up. How fast can you go? So hands up at the shoulders, tuck your chin, rolling up and rolling down. Still trying to find the control movement in your core. You're using your muscles rather than the momentum, but starting to smash out reps. If you feel your back, bam, landing heavy on the floor, slow it down a little bit. You're halfway. If you are one of those people that counts your reps, you need to try and double that number. Yes, nice. Right, come on up. Rear for elevation split squat. One leg, then the other. So find your position. Bend your front knee, and then we go. So you're still trying to get the same range, but trying to go a little bit faster. So dropping and driving, keeping the weight in the front leg, keeping that tip forward. Watch the posture, still tipping forward slightly and upright, which normally causes a curve in the back, nor are we collapsing forward. So just a slight tip forward of the upper body. You've got 5 seconds. Low and high, low and high. Yeah, perfect. Switching over to the other leg for a little shake if you need it. I'm going to do the final round of burpees with you. If these trousers allow it. Let's go 30 seconds on the other leg. You're going to be really trying to straighten the leg at this point, but try and keep that slight bend. Do you guys have these trousers? Like, well, not these specific ones, but you know the leggings that just fall down all the time? That's this pair. Not sure why I chose them today when I was new. I was filming this workout. Whoops. Use that as a distraction to get over the burn in your legs. Nice. All right, 30 seconds of burpees. How many are you going to aim for with good technique? Maybe 6, 8, 10, 12. Pick a number, aim for it, go for it. Let's go. Halfway. Plank, squat, jump in landing spot. Oh, I lost count. Don't talk at the same time. One more. Oh, well done. Got a big break. Hoping you puffed out. The final bit is going to be all core. It's lower heart rate, so have some water. Towel down if you need it. Then we're going to come to the floor. You try. God, I swear I used to teach insanity. I used to be able to talk, work out. Apparently not anymore. Right, still got 1 minute. I should have sat down, to be honest. If you can, try and keep your feet moving. Oh, still 1 minute. Have some water. Move. These are some of my first videos, so I guess I'm not really nailing the angles yet, am I? Feel with. Okay, less than 30 seconds to go. We're going to be starting with a plank hold. Now your plank hold is completely up to you. If your wrists are a bit tired at this point, you can absolutely do them on the forearms, or you can do it on the hands. It's kind of a matter of preference here, especially if you've got wrist issues. I'm going to do it on the hands. You choose. So 1 minute plank hold. So you're setting up essentially in your push-up position. We're not doing the push-ups. So hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes. Lift yourself up. Shift your shoulders over the wrists. And look at the floor just a little bit ahead of you. So what we're looking to avoid is hips below the shoulders. Even if your spine is straight like this, you're just looking to lift up a little bit more. Again, like you can almost hold a tray on your back. And how you do that is by lifting up through the belly. So lift, 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 and then your back should be flat. If you absolutely cannot do that on the toes, you're just popping down to the knees. Same thing, we're avoiding this straight line from knees to shoulders. But instead, lift, 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 lift up. If that means you scoot your knees a little bit more, then do. You should feel the difference in your abs. Keep, as you hold, pulling your hips and your hip bones right up towards your rib cage as much as you can. Make the belly as small as you can. Keep breathing. You're in the final 10 seconds. You've absolutely got this. If you feel it in your back, take a break and then come back in. That's perfect. Can line our back for toe taps. Line on. I've got too much screen action. So line your back. Extend your legs up into the feet over the hips. You're going to just reach your arms up and reach up towards your toes and lower yourself down. Reach up towards your toes and lower down. You may or may not hit the toes. You will definitely hit them if you bring your legs over like this. So you're trying to avoid that. In fact, you want to keep your knees over your hips, or if anything, marginally away. If your hamstrings, so the backs of the legs are tight, you might not be able to straighten the legs, so just bend them as you need. And this is not necessarily about how high you go. You're feeling that squeeze in your abs, and just by having the legs up, you're going to be working your abs. So keeping sure they're not moving towards you, the over the hips are just in front, and you're going to feel it even before you add the upper body crunch. 15 seconds to go. Keep it quite slow. Keep it quite controlled. Nice. And release. Rolling over for mountain climbers. So completely up to you here if you want to do them slow or if you want to do them fast. So find your plank position again, shoulders over the wrists. And you're going to pull your knee in towards your chest and then switch. You can either hop to switch your legs, or you can step to switch your legs. If you get stuck, take a break, take a child's pose, come back in again. What do I want to watch out for? This is what the things I tend to see. So it's either this, where the hips go back and you're looking at your legs, and then this isn't plank, is it? This is kind of more like a down dog. So what you want to think is shoulders over the wrist. Head should be in front of the hands. So you're just looking at the floor in front of the hands. Next thing I tend to see is toes tapping on the floor here. Toes tapping on the floor. And I want to try and keep them off the floor the whole time. So you're just pulling your thigh towards you, keeping the foot away from the floor. In a final 5 seconds. Oh, perfect. Roll over to your back. Leg raises. I guess it should be called leg drops, really. So line your back. Get that same starting position as you did with the toe taps, but this time press your hands down onto the floor to your side. Press your lower back towards the floor so your spine's neutral, and then lower your legs until you feel your spine wants to come out of neutral. What I mean by that is if your spine starts to arch or your lower back moves away from the floor. So if you feel that happen, you've gone too far. So it might be that you do such a tiny range here. Maybe you can go further. And maybe you need to either bend the knees because of the hamstrings again, or do one leg at a time if you need a bit less. But the modification is never to tuck your hands or your thumb underneath your bum. So when we do that, what that does is just use your hands to get that pelvic tilt position, which means you're not going to be strengthening your core. Your core needs to learn to hold that position by itself. So I do not care if you move 1 centimeter, but keep your hands on the floor by the side and push down into the floor with the hands. Oish, nice. Right, 1 minute squat thrusts. So this is a bit like mountain climbers, but this time it's both at the same time. So you find the plank position, shoulders forward over the wrist. You're going to jump your knees into crouch. So the knees are just forward of the hips, but close to the floor. Jump back to plank. Jump in, jump back. Jump in, jump back. If you need low impact, step your feet in, step your feet back. Step your feet in, step your feet back. So what we're trying to avoid on here is dropping the hips to make your spine out neutral. So sometimes I see this. We come into a frogger position, and look how my bum is lower than my shoulders. But we're in crouch, my back is flat. So again, trying to maintain that neutral spine despite moving the legs. Next thing to watch for is when you're coming back to plank. Does it feel like a plank? Are you coming all the way back? Have you hit a down dog? Or have you sagged and hit more up dog? Looking solid plank. We've got 5 more seconds to go. Rolling over for bicycle twists. Now when it says bicycle, it doesn't mean your legs go round and round like you would a bike. You're actually just going to push the legs away from you. So line it back. Try this, hands on opposite shoulders and lift your chest away. Extend your right leg and move your right shoulder towards your left knee. Then switch the legs, and as you do, left shoulder towards left knee. You're twisting up and across. And then if you want to get the elbow higher, so you're aiming for your elbow up and across towards the knee. What most people tend to do is fingertips on the temples, which is fine, but then they move the elbow in, and it's just them rolling around from one shoulder into the next. Whereas the bicycle twist, we're looking to really keep the shoulders off the floor. Now, if this is too much, just tap your toes instead. Tap your toes. Still trying to get that lift and crunch across. We're so nearly done, by the way. So nearly done. Your final 10 seconds. See how long and low you can get your legs. See how high you can crunch your shoulders. Get 3, and 2, and 1. Oh. Relax. Done it. Let's come up off the floor. And stretch. Do not leave. Do not turn the screen off. Do not stretch. Just 2.5 minutes of stretching. So the stretch is as important. Look how sweaty I am. Are you? Just take one arm across. Take it across the body. Keep your feet moving a little bit. If you don't feel it in your shoulders, so right in here, try taking the arm a bit further forward before you pull it across. Or try changing where you hold the arm. How do you feel right now? Switch your arms. Reach up, maybe reach out, and then come across. How do you feel? Hopefully hopefully the whole body just feels nice and tired. Nice and tired. Anyone else sweating as much? Can you see my sweat? Doesn't look as offensive as I think it is in real life. Nice. Right, well done. Now stretch your chest, bring your hands on the lower back, roll back the shoulders, squeeze your elbows in. Now push into the lower back, and at the same time, just pull your ribs away from your hips. Just get a ab stretch as well from all the ab work. And keep squeezing the elbows in and keep staying for the stretch. So you always want to warm up and stretch to avoid getting injuries so you can keep working out, because if you do enjoy working out, it's so annoying when you can't because of an injury. It's more annoying if the reason you got that injury is because you didn't do a warm up or cool down. Release. So finish with a quad stretch, right, left. So find your balance, pick up one foot, pull the heel towards the butt, knees together if you can, and kind of lifting your heel up as you push your knee down. And give a squeeze of the bum and push your hips forward. Push them forward, and you should feel it go right through the quad, so the front of the thigh into the hip. And here, if you need to hold on for balance, then do hold on for a little something. So focus is the stretch, not your balance. Just switch your legs. Find balance. If you feel it start to relax, don't release it. Just taking a breath, and then try and get a bit more out of the stretch. So either pulling the knee further down away from the hip, or pushing the hip further forward and up, or maybe you can pull the heel a little bit higher. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you got a good workout. Hopefully you keep trying. Again, like things like the push-ups on the toes. If you're nailing them now, cool. If you don't do them and don't try, you'll never know that you can. And I've heard people that haven't tried and then find out they can do like 5, 10, 15 push-ups. So keep on trying. You're doing amazing. Any questions or feedback, just send me a message. And of course, my name is Helen. And if you've got anything else at all, just shoot me a question. If you want any particular kind of workout, let me know. But well done. Thank you so much for